Hello, this is Miss Pat from Samuel's Public Library. This week we're going to learn about binary codes. That's the kind of codes that computers need so that you can program them to do certain things. We're going to learn today how to code a sandcastle by Josh Funk. Hello world, I'm Pearl. It's the last day of summer vacation, which means today is my very last chance to build a sandcastle. I've tried every single day, but something always ruins it. First came the flying saucers, then the shark attack, and maybe worst of all was the moat that Ada Puglace added. But today I've got the perfect plan. I've brought my trusty, rust-proof robot, Pascal. Say hello to the word, Pascal. Hello, world. He will do whatever I tell him, as long as I tell him in code. It's not a secret code. It's special instructions that computers understand. I guess he doesn't know how to do this when I tell him, build a sandcastle, Pascal. He looks a little confused, huh? A coder takes one big problem, though, and breaks it into several smaller ones. If I give Pascal enough instructions that he does know, we'll build a sandcastle in no time. It'll be easy. So small problem number one, find a place to build. Pascal, find a flat spot away from all dogs and frisbees. No, Pascal, we need to be on land. Too far. I guess I need to be very specific with my instructions. Pascal, find a flat spot on sand that isn't too close to the water. That isn't easy, as I thought, but at least we have a good place to build now. I don't know, I'd be worried about that dog. Small problem number two, gather up sand. Now we'll need a large pile of sand. It's very important to tell Pascal everything in the correct sequence. That means the right order. 1, fill the pail with sand. 2, dump the sand on our spot. 3, pat the sand down. Great job, Pascal. Now let's do it again. Fill the pail, dump the sand, pat it down. And again, fill, dump, pat. This is getting so boring. There must be a coding trick I can use. Aha, a loop. When you need to repeat something in code, you can use a loop. Pascal, loop through this sequence. Fill the pail with sand, dump the sand on our spot, pat the sand down. This still might take a while. I am going to relax while you work. Uh-oh, I think that's big enough. Time for a break, Pascal. Small problem number 3, shape and decorate the castle. Let's each find some fancy decorations and bring them back here. I've got seashells. What do you have, Pascal? That's way too big. You need to find something smaller. And we need something that isn't moving. Pascal, that's not ours. Maybe I need to give him better instructions. And if then else should do the trick. If the item you see is small and doesn't move and doesn't belong to anyone, then bring the item back to the castle. Else, find something different. Perfect. Let's shape the castle and decorate. Now our castle is finally finished. Wait here. I'll be right back with some toys. Are you ready to play? Oh no, what happened? Of course, it's high tide, and our castle, it's all gone. Go ahead, P. You can't make a moat today. Wait, a moat? A moat would have protected the castle from the tide. If only I had thought of a moat earlier. It took half the day to figure out how to code a sandcastle. But hold on, I already wrote the code to build a sandcastle. I can easily use all that code again. 1, find a place to build. 2, gather up sand. 3, shape and decorate the castle. But we're not done. We've got a new problem. Small problem number 4, build a moat. I think a new sequence should solve this small problem, and I know how to write one of those. Let's try. 1, dig around the outside of the castle. 2, fill the pail with sand. 3, empty the pail away from the castle. And we need to repeat that until we've gone all around the castle. I know, another loop. That's enough, Pascal. Hooray! Our sandcastle is finished and safe from the ocean. Let's play. Hey, Pascal, now that we know how to code one sandcastle, we can code an entire kingdom. Return. The end. Okay. So most computers are going to use binary codes. Right? And a binary code, bi meaning 2, it uses only a 0 and a 1 in a sequence of 8 spots to indicate a letter. And I'm going to show you what that means. Okay, but binary, remember bi means 2. So it's going to use 0s and 1s. I'm going to explain why it's only 0s and 1s. All right, because computers use voltages. And since the voltage changes often depending on where you are, they're not going to have a different voltage set for each number in the decimal system. So binary uses a 2-state. It uses on and off. So think of the O's and 1s as on and off. Okay, or in this case, looks like dark and light. Okay, so an A would be a dark, light, dark, dark. And notice A to O all has the first 4 digits are the same pattern, and then the last 4 are different. So there's 8 blocks for one letter. Okay, and it could be like on, off, on, off. That would be an A. You're going to get one of those. It looks just like this screen. Okay. It's not going to go to the next one. So then let's, oh, there it is. All right, so this is using 2 beads. Okay, and they show you the letters 0111, 100, and then they used the beads for the different colors. Now they use 2 different shapes. They use stars and circles. We're just going to use the circles. We're going to have 2 colors in all the bags of our STEM kits. Okay. So in your kit, you'll get one of these. Okay, and it is color coded. So you'll see dark and light, and you can figure out what your letters are. One of the pages though will have a crack the code. So if you can figure out those 8 numbers, the 0s and 1s, and I know you can't see too well on the screen, but you can when you get the paper, match it up with the letter, and you'll be able to answer 2 riddles. Okay, so that you're going to get to crack the code for 2 riddles. And you'll have a paper that will, again, have the code, Up at the top, zeros and ones, and you can practice writing your name, okay, depending on how long your name is, or just your initials. Now, since there's 8 spots for one letter, you might want to do initials, or in your kit, you have enough beads. I really do recommend you only pick 3 letters, so you can pick a 3-letter word, okay, like you could pick joy, right, J-O-Y, or I did the initials for our library. Okay, so we have the letters down here for SPL, right down here. Again, 3 letters, because that's 8 boxes for each one, so that's 24. So to make a bracelet, you don't really want more than 24, otherwise you're going to be making it into a necklace. Okay, so if you have a really long name now, my name is Miss Pat, so I could do Pat, that has 3 letters. Okay, but if Miss Patty wanted to do it, she has P-A-T-T-I-E. That's 6 times 8. Okay, she's going to have 48. That's going to be a way too big bracelet. Okay. You can practice writing your name. And then on the back of one of the papers, you're going to have something like this. And you can put your initials, or you can practice with a 3-letter word. You can come up with a 3-letter word. And then what you'll do is you can use the other code. Remember, we have the code. Okay. And you can write down 01, and then decide, I have green and yellow beads today. I could make my yellows my 1s and my greens my 0s, or I can do it as the dark light, the on off. Remember that, on off. So my light can be on off. So we're going to see, right, so let's see, there's my SPL, all right, and I wrote out my 8 boxes. So S is dark, and using my, remember you'll have a box that you can do this on. So I'm going to use my marker and just kind of fill them in. And then the P is also the same, starts off the same, but then it doesn't have the same. It has four dark ones. And then the L, right, so now I've coded it, right, for off, on, off, on, off, off, on. Now I can pick my 2 colors, okay? So I can go ahead now, once you have yours done, you can go ahead and put your, decide which color you want to use for your dark and your light. Okay, and I'm going to put these right there on there. And again, you can write it as 01, or you can write it as the dark and light, on, off. Now, there's a reason you want to get this done ahead of time, so that when you go to make your bracelet, it's going to make it so much easier. Right? And you'll know what your bracelet says, your friends may not. Now, on your paper, it's also going to say to add a space. Okay, it's going to tell you to add a clear in between it, because technically, if I put all this on there, I'm not going to know where one letter starts and one letter stops. So I'm going to put all these S's on first, and then I'm going to put a clear on. And then I'm going to put all these P's on, and I'm going to put a clear on. Right, so you'll have a couple of clears in your bag, right? And you'll have a pipe cleaner. Now you might want to bend the bottom so it doesn't just fall off. Okay, and then you start putting them on, starting on that, starting where you start. So I have them all in order already, and then I can just put them right on. Right, and there's the S. And you see what I mean? That's just S. That's, whoops, there's the other one. That's S. So that's one whole letter. Takes up a lot of room. Now I'm going to put on my clear. Okay, there's my clear. And I'm going to put the clear on. so that I know where the S starts. And then I'm going to keep putting on my letters. All right. And like I said, you can do this a couple of times if you want to change it, as long as you keep the pattern. You could write codes at home. I got to put on my next clear. You could write codes for your friends. Right, and then you can see who can crack your code. But computers have to use the binary code because they don't always understand. And this is something that they'll use the world over. Okay. And then these are, so this is 24. Okay. And then what you can do is you can twist these once you put it on, or you can make it a little bit bigger. So you can just flip it over. All right, so you can slip it over your hand. I have a really fat hand. All right, and I can put it on. And then I can cut off these ends if I want. All right, or I can just kind of poke them down so that they're not going to poke me. Right, and now I have a bracelet that's going to say SPL. And I know what it is. Right, but Ms. McCall may not. Miss Patty might not. Okay, and this would be coding. Right, this is binary code. Bi means 2. So I have 2 colors. I'm using it as dark light, right? On, off, 0, 1. I'm using 2 things. Okay, and you can do this with any kind of colors you want. If you have other beads at home or pipe cleaners, if you want to put it on a string and you want to make a really long one, you can put it on a string and you can put it around your neck as a necklace, and you'll know what it is. Okay? So enjoy the code. You guys crack the code. Tell me. Come back in. I want to hear the answers to the riddle. Okay? Crack the codes. Come in and show me your bracelets. I would love to see them. All right? Hope this was educational. Hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. We're going to do volcanoes. Bye.